All right, good. I'll have to tell DJ to tell her, say I didn't know they still like knew each other. I knew they would chat on Facebook occasionally, but I'm hardly on there anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. I'm with you. Listen, I don't know nothing about no Facebook.
Especially since I got out of the art game. That's where I would like put my art, and I was in the art groups to find out where, you know, the opportunities were.
Ah, yes. Of course.
So once I decided to get out of the art game, I left all the opportunity groups. And then it was like, well, I don't have any art to put up. So I don't go there as much as I used to. So,
So, and again, I'm only down to like one person that I talk to on Facebook these days, like Facebook Messenger. I typically share Dave's posts on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Right. Stuff that I get tagged in. And then like my little niece and nephew are on Messenger Kids, which is connected to Facebook.
Okay.
So sometimes they message me through that. So that's like really the only times I go on like Facebook adjacent, which is the Facebook Messenger or the Messenger Kids app or whatever it is. And I keep an eye on the Rob.
Of course. And of course, there was that times we were, and Mark Pirro. That's the only other place.
Yes, and Mark Pirro. I forgot about that. We mentioned him a week or two ago with, again, olds go to Facebook.
I'm borderline olding, so.
Yes. You need to find it. As long as you're not on Snapchat, you're okay.
I might be on I might be on Grumbler or Grindler or whatever.
Yes, Grumbler Grindr is the one you want to be on.
I thought it was Grindler. That's what I was saying. But yeah, I don't do anything. I'm mostly on the X and then the Discord.
Let's see, by calling it X.
I don't care. Hello, fellow kids.
I actually heard something worse where when people write stories about stuff that's going on Twitter, they write X, formerly known as Twitter.
Like
and that's
Prince.
one thing. It's one thing to write that, and that's in print, and you're making a story about that. But then when there's people that they say that, like in casual conversation, like, oh yeah, I saw somebody's tweet, or this person on Twitter the other day said whatever, and they would just say it like as casual conversation. Oh, I was on X, formerly known as Twitter, the other day. When you use that as part of your regular vernacular, I think that's more douche chilly than just calling it X.
Right.
Bird app is another one I'm not a fan of.
Bird app. Just really quick, one of my favorite Muppet jokes is do you remember the new Muppets?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So like it wasn't like all the old classics. There was a couple of them on there, but they were running the thing, and Prince showed up as a guest. And he's like, and the guard was the big bear, the bear that talks like this. And he shows up and he's like, I'm here to host the show. He's like, name. And he's like, well, my name is an unpronounceable symbol. He's like, listen, buddy, that might have kept you out of the draft, but it ain't going to work here. And then he's like, I'm the artist formerly known as Prince. And he goes, well, I'm the bear currently known as Annoyed. So I do love that. But yeah, I call it X. I mean, that's what it's officially called now.
Yeah. So. Well, listen.
That's right.
I don't know how much money Elon is giving you to call it that, but good for both of you, right?
You know what? Write this down. I have a joke for you that I won't do now after. Yeah. So.
Okay. Todd's Twitter joke.
That's right. X joke.
But it used to be a joke, and it's not a joke anymore?
No. But yeah, so like I said, I only use like pretty much Twitter sparingly. Right. I'm backing off of that and the Discord, But
yeah, Discord's fun.
Yeah,
like the
sure.
Discord.
Did you go to Wilkes-Barre for anything this week, or?
Like I live by Wilkes-Barre.
Right. Like you didn't go to the arena for anything, did you?
No.
Okay.
I only go if I get free tickets.
Right. Because I saw a stupid picture on the side of a truck recently.
Oh, don't say that about Cody Rhodes. His father was the American Dream.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Does he ever talk about him?
Yeah, it's come up once or twice.
Okay, just checking.
But if I wasn't so goddamn busy at work on Monday, I know I've told this story before, but I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay.
When monster trucks came up the arena the one time, and Asa was much younger and he was of that age. We're driving by, and it was before the show. Like we had they got there like Thursday or whatever the hell it was, and they were doing shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 shows Friday, or like whatever, right? 1 show Friday, 2 shows Saturday, it doesn't matter. But the trucks were just there in the parking lot, right?
Right.
So I pulled over to the side of the road, like right by where the trucks are parked. And Asa, maybe 4 years old, right? Mm-hmm. And I just pick him up over the divider, and I go run over by the truck and get your picture taken by the truck.
Right.
And he goes over, and I'm like, oh, hopping over and getting closer, and like security person comes over, and he's like, oh, you can't be over here by the trucks. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, officer, I didn't know I could do that.
Right.
And,
it's okay, Chappelle.
Right. Yeah, there you go, right?
Yep.
So if my work wasn't so busy on Monday, I absolutely, on my lunch break, would have drove to the arena.
Yep.
And taken a selfie of myself in front of the LA Night truck and come home.
I would have liked to seen you take a selfie of you cooking steaks on the top of the WWE truck.
Listen, like one of those guys isn't around anymore, and the other one's barely around, and
right.
The other one we don't. Yeah, right. He's looking for his potato salad. But no, listen, I get what you're saying. It would have been cool to get the picture of the LA Night truck. Yeah, I don't have the soundboard loaded up. It's just when the Rob does stuff, we experimented, and yeah.
But I told you my monster truck story as a kid, right?
Maybe. Let's tell it again.
I don't know if I've told this on here, but I'll tell it again. We went to Monster Truck Rally, or we went to something, and there was monster trucks there. And it was Rolling Thunder, which was a giant orange van. And go ahead, what?
Is that the one where it has like more than the 4 wheels? It has like a bunch of wheels?
No, it was just a regular monster truck, but it was a van body.
Okay.
An orange van body. It was called Rolling Thunder, I believe. And I was super enamored with my father, because we had heavy equipment and the big tire loaders and stuff like that. So he knew this stuff. He's like, God, I want to see that. And I never forget. They had it inside a fence, and the fence came to the corner of a building, which was a garage. And then right inside the garage was the door to the monster trucks. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so there was a guy guarding it. And my father walks over. He's like, hey, buddy, how you doing? He's like, yeah, blah, 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 guarding the door. And I just see my father reach into his pocket and pull out some bills. I don't know how much, right? And he just hands it to him. And my father's like, come here. And we go over. And I'm young. I'm super young. And we get through the door. And I'm like, I can't believe we snuck through. My father's like, shut up, boy.
Act like you've been here before.
Yeah, exactly. And we went, and I don't know where it is, but I have a picture of me with the Rolling Thunder, the monster truck. But that was my father's answer to everything. It was a sweaty fistful of 20s.
Sometimes it's even less than 20s. All you got to do is give one of these pimply-faced geeks a 5, and they'll look the other way for 30 seconds,
There's a story to that, too, someday I'll tell you. But, yeah, sweaty fistful of 20s.
All right. So how was the rest of your week? Everything okay? Everything good?
Everything good. It was a low-profile week, man. Just, as I always do, stay home, watch some of the foosball, and that's about it. Last week I think I didn't mention the show because we've had some jam-packed shows lately.
Right.
Of After Dark. I got my washer delivered a while back.
Oh, yes.
And I enjoy it. It works there were things I was worried about it. Like one of the things I absolutely love on a washer is that it will fill up while the lid is open. So if I want to you pour the cap full of detergent in there, I'm like, I want to, just fill it with water and spill it out and get it. So it's not, when I put it back on the Tide, it's not, Tide's my brand, not a sponsor. It's not dripping back and gets the bottle all, cruddy.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know if this one does that, because a lot of them, they lock the lids when you have it. And it's like, no, it works. Once I shut it, if I open the lid, I have to pause it and restart it. But otherwise, until then, I'm good. But it won't start washing until I close the lid. And Joe, that's all I really cared about on my washer.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. Other than it cleans clothes. It has many settings, but I have I'm just wash and then temperature and load size, and that's all I need.
Yeah, I don't know. They overcomplicate a lot of this stuff these days, you know?
Yep. And like I said, if it wasn't for the fact that my brother has the exact washer for like 4 or 5 years now, so I didn't really do any research. I did other than like to see like for every 1,000 5-star ratings, there was 12 1-star ratings, which is just douchebag people who don't understand how to use things. But otherwise, so I'm like, okay, so the masses thinks it's okay, and my brother and sister-in-law love it. So I'm like, I'm going with this one.
Perfect.
How was your week?
You know, things are good. Work is busy. Work is still work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe more on that in the coming weeks and months. We'll see. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, we just, you know, we're back in the swing of things. You know, we had bowling this weekend for Asa. We had a stuff for the family. It was a family weekend. We had to go up to Misericordia to see my little niece in like a gymnastics cheerleading thing.
Right.
And then we had to come back down to do Asa and hers piano recital as well. This is the piano recital that COVID canceled over the summer. And it's now. And then we have another one coming up in like a month and a half for Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah. But, you know, I got to eat Chinese food afterwards, so it all worked out, right?
Every Friday. That's me.
Yeah.
Without fail. I'm the Sheldon of this podcast.
I would, well, that you wish that upon yourself. Do you, is your restaurant that you go to, are they now randomly closed on a day in the middle of the week?
Not now. They always were.
Okay.
For some reason, and they weren't. Along the way, the one I go to was open 7 days a week.
Yes.
And then it decided Tuesday they were no longer open.
Tuesday!
And then they changed owners, but it stayed closed Tuesdays.
Okay. Because there's two different ones that are, well, 3 different ones that are relatively close to me. One, 7 days a week. The other one I could peek out my window and look at it, right?
Right.
They, within the last 6 months, are just closed on Tuesdays now.
Okay.
And there's another one that's a little bit further up, going toward 81 or whatever. They were the ones that were closed on Tuesday when they first opened. Now that this one is closed on Tuesdays, they opened up for the overflow.
Right. You don't want to have that overlap, you know?
Right.
You take that Chinese day.
Right. But barbecue season is almost done. My pop-up place, yeah, they do their last hurrah is the turkey leg on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Got ya.
And I'll be going for that. I'm sad. They did the meatloaf the day that we flew out for vacation.
Oh, if I had known that, I would have got some and been tagging you and me eating it.
Well, I got it before we went on the plane. We had bowling. Our plane was late. We had bowling. On the way home from bowling, I'm like, we're stopping to get my meatloaf. I got the meatloaf. They were doing pre-orders in advance to do 5-pound meatloafs to freeze.
Oh.
And I was doing the math, and I'm like, I'm the only one who's going to eat this. There's a lot of money to drop on something that is going to be a lot of work. It's going to take up a lot of space in the freezer. It's going to be a lot of work to thaw it all the time. And I'm just like, it'll just be my special treat when they have it every now and then, you know?
You fool. Yeah. You should have done it. Cut it into pieces, put it in Tupperware. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to thaw something. Come on. And I'm the lazy one on this podcast. It's not hard to thaw food.
I thought you were the Sheldon. I don't know what that means.
The Sheldon means I have my nights of the week that I eat my things.
Mm-hmm.
And Friday's my Chinese night. To the point of when I give them my order, they give me my phone number back. Without even having to. Friday night is, can I have a pint of chicken with broccoli? Can I have a pint of shrimp fried rice? And could I have 2 shrimp egg rolls? And they're like, okay. And they give me the price and they go XXXX. And I'm like, yep, that's my phone number. They go, all right, 10-15 minutes.
Your phone number is Twitter 4 times?
Yes, it is. It is Twitter 4 times. Twitter cubed. Squared?
No, squared, cubed, and then I don't know what the 4 is.
4 is 4 times. I don't know, but yeah.
All right. But there is one other thing that we need to talk about. Real business for the show.
Okay.
All right. So we are nearing the end of Todd and Joe Have Issues for 2023 with all the Sandman stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to figure out if we're doing it again next year and what we're doing for next year.
Right.
So I know we had discussed and we had thought about and we had thought of doing Starman.
Right.
The James Robinson Starman, because it's the
30th anniversary.
30th anniversary next year. Main show stuff, or is this post shows? Is this now again, I don't know if you're dead set on doing it, because I have a couple other suggestions. I know we did these suggestions when we did Sandman, but again, that was a year ago, right?
And then we added some more. Let's say I'm not dead set. I could be swayed, so let's discuss.
Okay, so we got James Robinson's Starman.
Mm-hmm.
We got Secret Six.
Okay. The original.
Well, no, the Gail Simone one.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. The original run of Gail Simone.
Right, but this is like where it started in Villains United, and there was the
I understand. The one shot and then the mini.
Yeah.
And then there's a few issues in
Suicide Squad.
And Birds of Prey.
Right. We have Age of Apocalypse on the list. Okay. Superior Spider-Man. You're a hard no on Age of Apocalypse. Like, I could take that off the list.
Yeah, I've never read Age of Apocalypse, and I've always had no interest in Age of Apocalypse. I mean, if it wasn't a resounding, like, fans clamored to the sky, all our fans, would I do it? Probably. I mean, I did read the Clone Saga. Can't be worse than that. So
right. Nothing. Well, anyway. But that's the thing. It's so this is just us to kind of like narrow down the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that I have here to maybe like 3 or 4.
Okay.
And then like put it up to a vote, maybe.
Right.
So if you're saying Age of Apocalypse off the list, Age of Apocalypse off the list. Superior Spider-Man. You said
I read it once and I was done with it.
Yeah, Mark Waid's Flash.
That I could be persuaded.
Okay. Astro City.
Astro City, I could be persuaded.
Preacher.
Yeah, like, let's not mess around. I could be persuaded to read Preacher again for the 17th time.
Hitman.
Hitman was one I was leaning towards because I haven't read that in a long time.
Okay. Why the Last Man?
We could do that. I'm a big Y fan. Okay.
And Sandman Mystery Theater.
I've read a little bit of Sandman Mystery Theater. So I have no, like, it's not like I have an opinion on it, if that makes any sense. Like, because I don't know, that would be something I'd read and I wouldn't know past like 6 issues.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. But it's weird. There's not a lot of Marvel that jumps out at me that I want to read. And it's not because, you know what, like would like be, but I wouldn't know how to do it, would be like Nova or Guardians of the Galaxy or Annihilation, like that stuff.
I like that idea.
But that is so broad, that would have to be figured out. Do you know what I mean?
Well, a lot of these would have to be figured out because, even like just as an example, right?
Right.
I have them broken down here. Preacher's straightforward. Astro City's straightforward. Why the Last Man's straightforward. Like, you can't get more straightforward than those. There's no crossovers. They're self-contained.
A couple of specials.
Right. Well, but that's the thing. It's an Astro City special.
Right.
It's not like, you got to go and read the 1998 Luke Cage Daughters of the Dragon team up to get this one missing story of Astro City, right? Everything's right there. Preacher, everything's right there. Hitman, you got like 1 or 2. Like, you got the issue 1000, you got the issue 0. Maybe there's like something else that's like written by Garth Ennis and drawn by John McCrae.
There are 7 issues that are before Hitman.
Okay, so that's easy. That's straightforward. Why the Last Man? It's 60 issues. Boom, done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, just as an example, I have them here in front of me. Mark Waid's Flash, okay?
Right.
So, is it as simply as issues 62 to issues 129? No. Because you've got at least 5 annuals. Mm-hmm. You've got a Flash special. You've got issues of Green Lantern. You've got an issue of JLI Quarterly. You've got 2 issues of Impulse. And then the Flash Green Lantern Faster Friends 2-shot.
And the Life and Times of Barry Allen.
Okay, so that one's not as easy, right?
Right.
Starman. Again, you would think it's just Starman right from the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you, like, does the James Robinson Golden Age from 1993, does that get read?
Right.
Then you have 0 Hour 1. Does that get read? Then the 2 different Shade miniseries. Then you've got annuals. Then you've got issues of Showcase in 95 and 96 and 97.
Yep, you have a Mist special.
You've got a Mist special. You've got issues of Powers of Shazam. You've got a Legends of the Dark Knight annual, right? So that one's not as straightforward either. Mm-hmm. Can they be done? Yes. Is it going to be a little bit more work? Yes. So, Age of Apocalypse, we've completely taken off, you said.
Yes.
Annihilation is another one that we'd have to cobble something together for.
Right.
What are we leaning toward?
Okay. Now, what do you want the criteria to be? Because my favorites of all time, fall into Sandman, Preacher, and Hitman. Those 3. Oh, and you know what? You could throw Why the Last Man in there as they're different qualities because Hitman is goofy, but the best of the best of the they're in my top 10s of my all time, loving a comic. So that's where I'm leaning towards. And Secret Six is up there. Secret Six has been a long time since I read. I'm leaning towards Secret Six.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm all over the place.
I'm good with just saying, let's do Secret Six.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to do for next year.
Yeah. You're a good decision maker. I have buyer's remorse when I do things, so except for washing machines, but
it's when you, so it's not to say that you because again, listen, I'll read all of these. I'll read any of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we got to look at one, and a lot of it is the main sticking points for me on a Starman, a Mark Waid's Flash, something like that, which I would love to do. It's a lot.
Yes, it is. Though I don't think Starman is more than Sandman. It's way less than what we did. Of the 2, Starman is pretty easy. I would just do 0 to, what did it end at? 70?
81.
81. Yes, it was 81. I'm sorry, because I'm thinking Preacher was 60. There's all these round numbers with.
Okay, so that's the thing.
Right.
Some of them I have the numbers on, some of them I don't. Mm-hmm. Preacher, everything is 74 issues.
Right.
Some of them in the 48-page specials. Some of them might be a double-sized issue, whatever, right? But 74 issues. Hitman is 68. That's everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main series, the 7 extras, all the other appearances.
Right.
Astro City, I don't know off the top of my head. Obviously, Why the Last Man is straightforward at 60. Sandman Mystery Theater, straightforward at 60. It's just like I said. And even as not linear and not straightforward as Secret Six is, I have that ready to go in my spreadsheets, and I know what issues need to be read. And that's about top to bottom, everything included, 67 issues.
Okay, that's even including the Birds of Prey 4 issues or whatever?
I could double check you right now while we're talking.
Right, because I know, when I lent out my Secret Six run, those Gail Simone ones where they appear in those 4 or 5 whatever issues, I'm they count, baby, because it's Gail writing them.
Yeah. Give me just a second here. Okay. And did I say 67?
I believe you did.
So I was wrong. It's oh no, you know what? Why? Okay, so this is the idiot that I am. There's it's actually 68.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Villains United miniseries, the Villains United one shot, the first Secret Six issue, the 3 issues of Birds of Prey, the first Secret Six series, which goes up to 36 issues, the second Secret Six miniseries, the series that goes up to 14 issues, the one Suicide Squad thing, and the one Doom Patrol thing.
Right. Now, does this count New 52 stuff at all?
That's that 1 to 14.
Ugh, okay. I guess we can do that.
It's part of the thing.
It is, but second Secret Six is awful.
Okay, so, but it's written by Gale, right? Isn't
Right,
that the criteria?
It is, but it doesn't. Like, I always felt New 52, it was them thrown together, and it wasn't even the same characters. It is the same characters, but do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
They don't have the same backstory, and like New 52 characters are different. I'm not getting it. Like, I know I'm getting deep into the weeds on this, but I remember reading it and being like, okay, like who the big heavy guy turns out to be, like, is a main character that people know, and I'm like, to me, anything in the New 52, except for maybe like a few books that like transcend because they didn't want to rock the boat when it came to like Green Lantern selling, Batman selling. We're not screwing with continuity. Everything else, that Superman from New 52 is not the same Superman from before New 52 and after.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, he met that Superman, and that Superman had kids. I don't know. I'm really weird on the New 52 runs.
So even if we bump that out, which again, it's a discussion that we can have, that puts us at 54 issues.
And that's even better with one almost a week.
Right. That's even better. Now, we're going to go and we're going to double check. It's essentially just anything that's written by Gail Simone during that run. And I'm just double checking the trade collections to see if there's anything that I missed. And it doesn't appear. There's an issue of Action Comics that they're counting.
That crosses over.
Okay.
With something, I believe. But I don't know if Gail wrote it. Maybe she did.
That's what I'm looking right now.
But I remember there was definitely a crossover.
It was not written by Gail Simone, but it was during the Paul Cornell Lex Luthor run.
Right.
And then, so there's 2 issues of that, actually.
Right.
2 issues of Action Comics, but they're not written by Gale.
And that would knock us down to 52?
No, I didn't have those included in my numbering.
But you see what I was asking. So if you were at 54 and they were in there, that would knock you down to 52.
No, yeah. So other than that Action Comics stuff, it looks like I have everything.
The only thing that really sucks about that is I don't think they ever reprinted Secret Six in a long, long time.
No, it's long out of print.
And that's sad because that's one of the greatest books that DC ever did.
Yeah. But yeah, so we can not count the Action Comic stuff, even though that's in the collections of stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. Let me just double check one last thing here in regards to, before we say for sure that it's going to be Secret Six. No, so this is where the issue comes in, is a lot of the stuff is available on Kindle, you know?
Right, that I knew, but...
And it's not too like, the trades aren't that expensive. Like, strangely, the first print of the third trade and the second and the third trades are like $40 trades for some reason. And then the omnibus is available for pre-order to come out next June.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I did not know that there was a Secret Six Omnibuy.
That's what Amazon is telling me.
Right, but I don't know if it was in the previews yet. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So if that's an option, I might even be picking that up when they solicit it, if it hasn't been solicited yet.
Yeah.
But
all right, so it looks like it's Secret Six for next year. We might have to double up like 1 or 2 weeks.
Right.
To do 2 issues to hit the 52 weeks at 54 issues, you know?
Right.
And
who knows? We may move, it'll be Secret Six, but we'll discuss. I mean, that's the plan at this point. We'll fix it as we go, you know?
No, I feel good about this. I feel good about it being Secret Six.
No, yeah.
All right, so that ended up being a little bit longer, but that's okay. We worked out some deals for next year. Thanks for listening, everybody. Patreon.com/LongboxHeroes. We just had Previewing the Past for November 1993 go up. Follow-ups off air about some of that stuff, too. I don't know. Follow us when you see us. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all here next week. This was After Dark, whatever number it is. This is the Goofing Around Show.
You're
Bye.
listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.